Hey kids, it's Anglantine here. I've been wanting to share this one for a while now, or at least since it came out. I think this is just tons of fun. I gave it a 5-star rating on my Marvel vs. DC and felt, well, maybe I should defend that because when it comes right down to it, it is just like a one-off advertising comic book. But the thing is I think it does what it does very well as an advertisement and as a comic book. Is it great? No, but it is a great advertisement comic book. It's just so silly. It's so fun. There is no pretense to this. And in the end, it's the biggest Colonel Sanders shill I've ever seen. And I just laughed. I had a good time with this book. So don't expect The Watchmen. Don't expect The Dark Knight. But it is just flat out tons of fun. So let's get this little puppy started here. So the book opens with the satellite Zinger 1 crashing to the ground. You got their little NORAD thing going nutso, and the news is out there trying to cover that you see the fiery crash in the horizon, and a Jeep drives up. Somebody yells, "Oh my gosh, it's the Colonel!" He drove straight into the fire. I'll punch the first guy who makes an extra crispy joke. And so the lady says, "Oh my gosh, something's moving out there." And this is where the book had me. I'm sorry, I realized I'm reading the Attack of the Killer Tomatoes of comic book adverts. As we see the Colonel walking out of a fire holding a big metal bucket of chicken. "What are y'all gawking at? This ain't my first barbecue. You can let the folks at home know the capsule's passenger is A-OK. And if you don't want to take my word for it, take this." And he throws a sandwich at the cameraman. And "That's what this is all about. My Zinger chicken sandwich is already famous around the world. I am to make it universally famous. Now that we've test-fired it into orbit, the Zinger's going to bring that kind of joy to more folks than ever before." And, of course, we have this picture of the guy right in front taking a big bite of it. That's not a Zinger. Zingers are those little sub sandwiches with... Anyway, that's neither here nor there. And he's basically saying that he wants to shoot the Zinger out into space in order to feed the universe, since he learned about other worlds fighting alongside of the Flash and Green Lantern. So he says they're in a spaceship created by Hal, and he says, "Green Lantern, I knew you were the right man for the job." And Hal says that, it's not just him, it's the entire Corps that are working to get the Zinger to as many planets as possible. I love the art in the middle panel. Because, like in the commercials, we have Norm Macdonald and other fat comedians playing the Colonel. But in this comic book, he's got a Rob Liefeld barrel chest standing in basically a Rob Liefeld pose. And then we get a few planets. Most of them are being hosted by their Green Lanterns of their sector. And they're waiting for the delivery of the Zingers. Yet when they open the buckets, oh my gosh, they're empty. "Colonel, I'm getting reports from every space sector that all capsules are arriving empty. Some cosmic varmint must have waylaid my Zingers." And we see planet Okara. "And if there's one thing I simply can't abide, it's a no-good thieving varmint." And then, of course, we see what looks to be Larfleeze sitting on a throne and a pile of Zingers, laughing because he's basically stealing them all. So the Colonel is eager to go get that thieving varmint, so he tells Hal to get the ship moving around so they can go after him, but Hal says, "No, I've got a better idea. My power ring has the ability to make a temporary copy of itself. My power will be split between us, but it's the best way for us both to search the stars. I told you when we first met that a man of your indomitable will would make a fine Green Lantern. Now it's time to prove it." Whoa, that's mighty generous, but if I'm doing this, I'm doing it my way. And he turns the ring into a bucket of chicken. This book is freaking classic stupid. And so flying across the universe, the first thing they come to is the source wall. And Green Lantern tells him, "Hey, that's the source wall. It's the very edge of the universe." And I love the Colonel's reaction. He basically says, "It seems like a criminal waste of real estate. Once we nail our bandit, I'm coming back to slap some billboards on this thing." And then they fly off to planet Rand where they meet Adam Strange. And he says, "I'm not sure who took the Zinger, sir. Just as they came out of hyperspace, our instruments detected energy bursts near the red end of the spectrum. Green Lantern, of course, realizes what that means, or at least what it could mean, and they say, I need to collect some evidence first. And, of course, they want to tour the entire DCU, so they stop at Planet Thanagar, where Hot Girl basically tells them that orange glowing creatures took the Zingers, and then the Colonel and Green Lantern say, okay, we got it, and then they fly away. And he says, we have to be careful. The Orange Lantern wields the power of an entire corps. Fighting him is like taking on every Green Lantern. He's a creature of pure greed. His needs and appetites can never be satisfied, and he wants everything. And they arrive at Larfleeze's planet. The Colonel cries out angrily, Larfleeze! And the best line in any comic book this year, I'm calling it right now, that'll be $3,457.50 plus whatever sales tax y'all have on this stinking mud ball. And basically, Larfleeze is yelling, mine, I want more, I want all the zingers. This book is so freaking stupid, it's hilarious. So the Colonel punches him with a green fist, and Hal Jordan says, hey, I told you, wait, let me do the talking. And he says, well, I just had to take him out. I know my accent is going in and out. And Green Lantern says, well, use the power I gave you. Admittedly, I think they missed an opportunity here in this next scene by having the Colonel fight with a spoon and a fork instead of one big spork, which I think is like it should be a Kentucky Fried Chicken trademark. But he does grab a drumstick. Unfortunately, Larfleeze gets the upper hand on him. So Larfleeze has the Colonel by the throat. He sniffs and asks, who are you and why do you smell like zingers? Green Lantern tells him, that man's the source of all zingers, Larfleeze. You hurt him and you'll never see another zinger again. So Larfleeze says, you will stay here with me. You will make them only for me. You have no idea what it is to be Larfleeze, the constant aching need, the yawning emptiness inside. Only the zinger has ever made me feel satisfied, even for a minute. Larfleeze cannot live without it. This is the biggest commercial I've ever seen for Kentucky Fried Chicken. And Colonel says, well, it's a good thing I know how you can have all the zingers you want. But it'll take a little effort on your part. Anything! So in the best part of the book, the Colonel says, see, I can't stay here and cook for you, Larfuzz. I got way too much going on back at the office. But what you can do, what actually makes sense, is to open your own KFC right here on Okara. You can even get your Orange Lanterns to be the kitchen crew. KFC? That's right, this is how you can have all the zingers you want, just the way I'd make them. Yes, I'll do it. And then the Colonel stops Larfleeze by selling him a KFC franchise. They even hawk KFC franchises in this book. It's just, this is absolutely the best. Hal Jordan flies away. They're saying, I can't believe he fell for it. Oh, I meant every word. Better that he's busy here than out causing trouble. I mean, this is gold. And so they go back to Oa, where the Guardians make the Colonel an honorary Green Lantern, and at the end he says, now I'd like to talk to you about how to feed all of your employees here, suggesting he's about to try to sell the Guardians a KFC, and that's where the book ends. But they made up a letters page, and yes, just like the America Chavez letters page, this one is fake. Well, folks, that was a doozy. I hope you all enjoyed my outer space adventure as much as I'm not doing the accent anymore, by the way. As much as I enjoyed adventuring it, I've had space on the brain a lot lately, friends. There are a lot of places to explore out there and plenty of worlds that don't even have chicken yet. I think the best way for the human race to achieve peace with some weird bug-eyed alien conqueror is by handing them a chicken sandwich and saying, let's eat. Anyhow, time to scrape out the mail bucket. First letter. Dear Colonel, I saw somewhere that you actually sent a chicken sandwich into orbit. Why? This is from Mitch from Laredo. Dear Mitch, good question. I actually designed a capsule to be big enough for both me and the chicken sandwich, but there was a mathematic hiccup, and it turned out a lot smaller than I'd planned. It was me or the sandwich. The rest is aeronautic history. Second letter was, Mail Bucketeers. I travel often and the rest of the world has had the KFC zinger for years, yet here in America we're just finally getting it. What took so long? Angela, the North American switch was in the off position for some reason. It's fixed now. Sorry about that. This is one big zinger commercial. Sanders, your menu contains too many options. Free will is a burden to diners. I will bring cosmic order to your offerings and leave people with only the single most delicious option. T. Sonestro. I don't know who you think you are, T, but I won't stand aside while you besmirch my robust variety of delicious menu items. Meet me at any KFC in the multiverse and we'll settle this. Unless you're yella, fella. I can't believe Hal got all the action in this one. Everyone knows I'm America's favorite Green Lantern. G. Gardner, Sector 2814. I like your style, kid, but Hal and I go way back. See the Colonel of Two Worlds. Harland, are you single? From Granny Goodness, and there's just a simple gulp. That's it for this edition, folks. Time for me to get back to my greatest adventure, making the best fried chicken in space. Tell you the truth, I am not a Kentucky Fried Chicken fan at all. However, I have to admit to really liking this book, just because it is silly and stupid and fun. However, it is stupid. It really is. But there's no pretension, and maybe it's because, I don't know, after I read all the Marvel books and such, I was thinking, hey, look, there's color on these pages, and that's something. So anyway, on the back cover, it has this advertising. I know it's a parody of something. I think it's a parody of an Atari or a Nintendo commercial of some sorts. You guys can tell me better than I know, probably. So, yeah, let me know in the comments what you think this is. And also, what did you think? See, I like this book. Once again, it's a silly and stupid thing. It's definitely irreverent. It's just something that is lighthearted. It's a one-off. And it's so much better than that Secret Empire book I just reviewed a couple of days ago. And that's Marvel's big push. What's going on here? I don't know. If you think Secret Empire is better than this book, let me know also. You know, let's find out. I want to know what you think is better in that book. Also, if you like this video, just click like, click share, share again, put it on Twitter, share there. And don't forget to hit subscribe and notification if you haven't already. Also, don't forget to go on over to the Patreon page, put in $1. Our Kirby month's coming up, and we've got review a day at the patron page. So $1 gets you in and 30 extra videos. That's cool. We would definitely appreciate you guys helping us keep this train rolling. And, you know, to those who already have, to those who will, and even to those who just enjoy our videos, thank you very, very much for watching.